Okay, so what you'll need is 2 toilet rolls, okay, some wax paper or baking paper. You will need, it says black paper, but some cardboard. I've taken the back of some food packaging here. Okay, you will need some scissors, some rubber bands or hair bands, a pin, and some sellotape. So you can use a dressmaking pin. I've just chosen to use a slightly more fashionable one. Okay, so this is what you're going to do. Sometimes you have toilet paper, toilet rolls of 2 different sizes. I don't. Okay, so these need to go, one needs to go through the other. So what I need to do is I need to cut this one up. Just going to cut it in half. Like this, okay, and then I'm just going to roll it so that it's a bit thinner, and it has to be thin enough to pass through the other one, okay, like this. So once I know that's going to happen, I can get some sellotape and just tape that up. There we go, get the scissors the right way around and it'll work. Okay, so re-roll it so that it's just a bit thinner. If you've got a stapler, you can staple it to reinforce it, but that's not necessary. Okay, let's make sure that this is the right, length. So you need to get your ends lining up, and then sellotape it like this. Okay, as I say, you can staple it to reinforce it. That is not really necessary. Okay, cut out a square of wax paper and cover one end of tube 1, which is your narrow one, okay, with the wax paper. Push the sides of the wax paper that are sticking out from the hole down against the tube. Okay, use the rubber band to secure the wax paper to the tube. Sorry, I am reading the instructions. I have tried it before, but it's just a case of getting it exactly right. So then we're going to secure it with a hairband which doesn't want to secure it. Okay. So you end up covering it like this. Okay, make sure that this tube with the wax paper and rubber is still able to fit tightly into the other roll. Yeah, it's going to fit fairly tightly. We can put some more rubber bands on to widen it out a bit. If you don't have any rubber bands, you can use sellotape again here. Okay, next one. So we now need to cover one end of our larger toilet paper. So we need to cut a square, which is just a bit bigger. So say, the instructions say black paper, but I've found that a little bit of cardboard works just as well. Push the sides, so the black paper is sticking in, and then we need to attach this on as well. Actually, I'm going to use a slightly bigger square, that would be easier. Okay, so there we go. And if I just make a few little cuts in here, it means folding it up is a little bit easier. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that's folded up. It is easier to use paper, but as I say, I found that the card works just as well, and we're going to secure that either with some sellotape or with another couple of hair bands. I'm going to use sellotape because these hairbands are the wrong size. I swear Mr. Maker has other people to cut all his sellotape and things for him. That would make it so much easier. I was going to say Neil Buchanan then, but you guys wouldn't know who he is. So let's just tape this bit of card down on 4 different sides of the square. There we go. So now that's attached to the end. With a pin, make a small hole in the centre of this top. Okay, so there we go. We now have our pinhole ready for our pinhole camera. Okay, so we are now going to insert tube 1 into tube 2, and we put our wax paper in first. Okay, so our wax paper goes in there first, and we now have a pinhole camera. Okay, we now need to look through the open end and see the wax paper, and if we look at a light source, we should be able to see a picture, but it's a little bit out of focus. Okay, so you might need to adjust by pulling it in or out. Okay, and you need to look at a light source. When I say look at a light source, please do not point this at the sun and look at it. Okay, you need to be sensible with your light source. You might decide that you want to get a nice picture up on your computer screen or your phone and point the pinhole camera at that and look at it. Okay, please be sensible with what you look at. Don't look at the sun, don't look at a bright light. I don't want you to damage your eyes. Okay, what happens when you look at a light that is too bright is that the bright light damages the cells in your retina, and it can permanently damage and destroy them. Okay, you can go blind by staring at bright lights, so don't do it. But by all means, use a still picture on a phone or a screen. Get your pinhole camera and focus it. Okay, and give me a picture. I want you to then draw a picture of what you can see with your pinhole camera. Okay, you might take a photo of it, you might draw it out for me, but I want to see a picture of your camera, pinhole camera, which you might have beautifully decorated. I haven't. And I also want to see what you have seen through your pinhole camera. Okay, and what you notice. Okay, what's special about the image? Tell me what's special about the image.